is the strength of the 49ers offense still the run game?
Yes. Yes, it is. It definitely is. The thing is, it looks bad because, when they're stacking up 5 to 7 man lines and 8 people in the freaking box, of course it's going to look bad. You got a numbers game at that point, and without Trey Lance to account for that extra number, then you're kind of very going up an uphill battle carrying sandbags on your shoulders. So to me, it's like, Kyle, if you know this, you really want to run the ball, you're gonna have to start passing more. You got to step out your element a little bit. That's the thing that infuriates me. And that's why I wrote the other day about, is Jimmy Garoppolo having the best year of his career? It wasn't so much that I believe so much in that. It's because he's playing pretty damn solid. How about entrusting him a little bit? Give him a little hand on the steering wheel, because right now you have Jimmy Garoppolo, 0 fingerprints on the steering wheel. You're almost playing like you're scared for him to mess up the game, which so far he hasn't done that. Maybe he's made some poor RPO decisions, which sure, great. Miss some players in the field, of course, and we know he does that. But ultimately, he's throwing the ball pretty fine across the middle, even to the sidelines and downfield a little bit. So it's like, how about let's get him going? Let's make the defense pay and make him off kilter by throwing the ball a little bit, so that you can make your strength become your strength all over again.
Yeah, I feel like the numbers kind of show that look, they're 20th in the league in yards per carry and 3rd in the league in yards per pass attempt. So it seems like they're running too much and passing too little. And so I don't think that the strength of the team is running right now. Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey are good running backs, but the offensive line, like the right side from Brendel, Burford, whoever they have it right regard, and then McGlinchey, it's just not working right now. So they're kind of like left-handed in the run game. They run left more than any team in the league. Meanwhile, on offense, like they have playmakers at every single spot. McCaffrey, and we're going to talk about him more, is a legitimately really good receiver as a running back. They may have the best running back receiver in the league. Debo's having a horrible year, but he's Debo. Ayuk's having a great year. Kittle's still Kittle to an extent. I mean, they have so many options in the passing game where like Jimmy can't really miss. And it seems like if you're going to force everything through your running game, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should just you've spent so many like dollars and resources on these weapons in your passing game. Like maybe pass the freaking ball. Maybe. It's not like Jimmy's not turning the ball over. He's not great. But damn, I mean, usually Kyle Shanahan would take the ball out of his hands and just run crazy when he didn't trust Jimmy. Well, you can't really say that. You can't use that excuse now. Now I feel like he's just running because he's stubborn, because it's his pattern. Like, look at your stats, look at your playmakers, and call the game accordingly. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say.
The book is out, right? Because we saw it in the NFC Championship game where it's like this run game's going nowhere. Time for Jimmy to live up to it, and the dude just left so much to be had and wasn't even on it. But he's been on it this year outside of the Denver game. I mean, he's been pretty much fine outside of the most egregious pick, number 1, the Chiefs game, and the 1 pick in the Denver game. The other pick, the picks in the Atlanta game were bad, but one of them was like a toss-up, whatever. But ultimately, yeah, he's been fine. He's been pretty excellent. I'm teetering down the line back to where he played for in 2019. Is that far? So to me, it's like Kyle's back to, again, just not trusting Jimmy. And it's like, well, Kyle, your offense, the way you wanted to go now is not working. So for you to want it to go the way you want it to go is you got to get out of tendencies. All right. If we know what's coming, which I feel like it's like, oh, run play. Here we go. Give the ball more to Jimmy. Take a risk. I know it's a risk. And I know he could probably be in for a backstep. So remember,
throw on first down. Yes, they don't expect it.
Dude,
do it.
Game,
yeah.
I'm sitting next to my cousins. I'm like, opening drive. Watch, run, pass. It's like, dude, your play. It's not the plays that's predictable. It's the play sequence.
It's the sequencing.
And you're out of rhythm, and it's like
they're expecting you to run on first down, and you're running on first down. Why?
Plug on calling him adaptable. He's not adaptable. Look, I've already seen from the all 22 49er people on Twitter show out that, hey, look, it's the same RPO play over and over and over again in the RPO, and the Chargers adjusted by either putting someone out on the edge, and it's like, dude, pass the ball regularly. You don't have one of those in your arsenal? Like, are you serious? You don't have a single just shot play just to take? I'm not talking about downfield shot, but just something to take? Like, come on.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, this is on Kyle. And the thing is, like, let's compare it to McDaniel. Josh McDaniel goes to Miami. What if Kyle were the Miami Dolphins head coach right now?
Oh.
Would Tua be flourishing, or would they be running the ball and he'd be like, Tua, I don't trust you, and we're not going to go down the field because I don't like your arms. So we're going to. It almost feels like that's Kyle's personality. And you got McDaniel over there with a quarterback no one respected, and he's like, if you watch Tua highlights, it's nothing but 30-yard passes down the field. Oh, he's done. It's like, and they're not, he doesn't have anything on the ball, but they're relentlessly pushing the ball down the field. They're throwing the ball more than they're running it. And this is a run game genius, understanding, hey, I think it's important to pass in the NFL. I don't know, man. I feel like if McDaniel were the head coach here, they'd just be more aggressive on offense. They'd be looking like they look in Miami. And if Kyle were in Miami, they'd be much more conservative on offense and, just running, passing. So, Kyle, adapt.
That everyone cops out, especially for Kyle, is, like when Juwan Jennings had that stretch where he was dominating, it's like, all right, great. Now let's get your other players involved. It's like, they're defending the other people different. That's why Jennings is flourishing. It's like, so wait, you mean to tell me that the defense somehow has 18 people on the field where they can double cover Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle? Someone's running right open. Get out of here with that. I just watched the Cowboys doo-doo on the Packers with just one or two options on their offense, and CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard. Other offenses who have lesser coaches are excelling. What's the Niners' excuse? So
I just feel like the Niners are much more
execution. Get it that.
I think they're more suited to pass this year. They got a quarterback who doesn't want to do play action, so being under center doesn't really help. He's pretty good in the gun. You have five good eligible receivers on any given play. And you got a guy with a quick release. So it seems like, sacks haven't been a huge issue this year. The problem is when you try to run the ball because you don't have the offensive line to pull it off like you did in the past. You don't. And frankly, Christian McCaffrey, as good as he is, I still think is better as a receiver than he is as a running back. That's how I feel. But Elijah Mitchell kind of complements him really well. They have good running backs. They just have the potential to have the kind of passing game they have in Miami. Now, Tua's better than Jimmy. Jimmy can't throw the ball down the field like Tua, but still, the Niners have the weapons and the stats prove it. They're third in the league in yards per attempt. They should be passing more. 20th in the league in yards per carry. They should be running less.